friends, welcome to the farm. I'm Jack, and we are just sitting on the porch. Me, the dogs, the cats. It's very cool this morning. It's actually like 60 something degrees outside this morning, and I'm going to go get my grandbaby in a little bit. And I had hoped that it was going to be sunny. This is the first time we haven't had rain in about, oh my gosh, a month. It seems like it has rained every single day, which I'm not complaining about, except for we cannot get any yard work done, and the grass is, growing really, really fast. I have not been able to bush hog my field behind my greenhouse, and it is probably 5.5, 6 foot tall weeds out there. It is insane the amount of weeds that are out there. I was just thinking this morning just about all the things that I needed to do and how overwhelming it is. And I'm just going to have to set like some priorities, or maybe make me a schedule. Like, as long as it's not raining, Monday will be my preserving day. So I'll be in the kitchen every Monday putting up food and have that set as a thing, unless it's going to be sunny on Monday and it's going to rain Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I'll just swap it to the rainy day that week, or try to fit it in for the rainy day that week. That way I'm not wasting any outside time. But once we get into June here in Alabama, and middle to the end of June, we usually have no rain for months. So I'm not complaining about having the rain right now. I have not had to water my garden at all, not once since I have put it in. I have rain barrels set up around different places, and I'm thinking about doing some extra rain barrels and just hooking them together so they'll overflow into each other. But they're also sitting under the roof, and I have the complete tops cut out of them. So they get mosquitoes in them and stuff when they sit in the summer. So I'm going to have to figure out some kind of screening or something to put over them that I can remove. Not something permanent, because I have to dip my water buckets in there when it comes to that time. Because I have different things on different sides of my garden. And because it's on different sides, I don't want to drag hoses, 100 feet away from the main point, because that gets really hard. I do have some hoses ran down the sides of my greenhouse. That does help when my hoses work properly. I don't know why the nozzles get stuck on them, or we have a lot of dirt daubers. And I don't ask me how they get in them tiny little holes, but they'll stuff every little hole in my entire hose, sprinklers, everything full of dirt and mud, and stop everything up. I had a sprinkler down there that was one of those that sits on top of a T-post, and I had it laying on a table, and something moved in there, and I don't know what it was, but I got to pulling out stuff, and it had just stuffed leaves and leaves and leaves and leaves up in there. And I don't even know, like, I would have had a hard time getting all those leaves folded up and jammed up in there, but I ended up having to trash the whole sprinkler, just because I left it open. Like, they do have these little caps that screw onto them that have screens on them. But at the end of the season, when I'm moving stuff around, I do sometimes forget to put them in something. Last year, I put them all into, like, little storage containers with lids so that nothing gets in them while they're sitting, but that does not always work. So watering is going to be my thing right now to try to set up on the farm. I need to set up gutters on my greenhouse, on my chicken coop, on my goat area, and just try to harvest as much rainwater as possible. I would love to have like a storage tank of some sort, but those are quite pricey. So I don't know. I may have to build some kind of cistern thing for the well, but that's also pricey. So it goes back to winging it. We have 3 sources of water. We have rainwater, we have well water, we have city water, and worst case scenario, I have a swimming pool, so we have a backup reservoir of water. So those do come in handy. But I don't have like gutter systems that run just really well. I do collect rainwater in 5-gallon buckets to use in my house and with all my cooking and baking, and I built a filter out of 5-gallon buckets, and so I filter it through, and then I put it into glass gallon jars and store it like that. And then we just use it from there. And I store it in a dark closet, or in my pantry underneath all of the shelves. I put it under there. But back to the fact of not just water, but being overwhelmed on the farm. And if I go outside and look at it, I get a little bit like, oh, I have so much work to do. So I have to break it down into tiers, is what I call it. Like, I have the barn chores, I have the greenhouse chores, I have orchard, and I have vineyard areas in my gardens. I need to be working on the tiny house, which is, I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. I would love for it to be my farmhouse kitchen slash just where I preserve all of my things, like my little workshop for all of my stuff, and then maybe have the front for my farm shop. That's ideally what I would like, but then again, I have a 25-year-old son who lives at home, and he's looking for a job right now because he lost his job recently. And so I don't know if that's going to be his house, but it'll work out however it's supposed to work out. And then I have the bees, which I'm not tending them yet. I have someone that still comes and does that for me, that I'm supposed to be learning from, but he always comes when I'm not here or things like that. So it's making it difficult, but I will get there. I'm watching videos of people and trying to learn a little bit about it, because I don't want to just take it on with no training whatsoever, because I know that is an epic fail. When people who fail at beekeeping that have done it for years, I know that it's not something that I just want to jump into, because, you know, that is living things, and I don't want to just like go in there and just kill them all. That's not the idea. Cat just scared me. It just jumped up on the table. So just to clarify, there's a few things that are coming up in this video that have changed because I literally forgot to post it. And so my goat has already had her babies, as you might have seen the pictures. And I did not get that picture of the hose on the side of the greenhouse because I've gone down there to take that picture about 22 times and forget every time because my ADHD kicks in and I get distracted. So anyways, my goat has still not had her babies yet. So we have goat rotation stuff that I need to be doing. I need to get the fence finished. And if you go back to some of my previous videos where I started building the fence, I swear that was like 2 years ago. I have not gone any further than that, and it's kind of driving me crazy, but I also don't have help. So I need to get so many things done, and it's an overload when I try to think about them. So right now it's garden season, so I'm tied up with that, but I have got to get the fence up out there. So I'm gonna have to recruit some helpers to help me finish putting the fence up, and it's just mentally a lot. These are the ugly things I say about farming and trying to homestead and stuff. It's not really ugly. It's just, the reality is you get tired, and some days you just don't want to do it. And yesterday was one of those days. And yesterday I got up, and of course, okay, I have it's been raining constantly forever, so we live in a swamp right now. But the rain has made me tired and not wanting to do anything. The sun hadn't been out in a month, pretty much, like just peeking its head out every once in a while. So I wouldn't say I was depressed or anything, but it doesn't have me wanting to like jump up and, you know, run a marathon or anything. I'm not super hyper and, you know, super active. I'm just like, another rainy day. It just makes me sleepy and tired. But the garden down there where I've been working, got up yesterday morning and went and I do pest rotation in the mornings. So I get up every morning, at least every other morning, if not every morning, or I hit the evening on the other day. So I like to look at my garden in the mornings. I like to look at it in the afternoon, and I like to look at it at night or in the evening, because there's different things that come out, different pests that come out, and all that. And the pest load is not heavy right now. Aphids are pretty bad this year. Like, I have a lot of those that I'm having to just take care of, and I mostly just like mash them with my fingers. I just pick up the leaves and mash them. So I go through my ginormous garden, and I literally put my hands on almost every plant in there. And I look under the leaves for squash bugs and all of that. Like, I hand pick all the pests off. I don't use any pesticides. I hardly ever even spray anything on them. I will use soapy water is about the extent of how strong I use something. And that's just to suffocate the bugs. It'll suffocate squash bugs and kill them. It'll leaf-footed bugs, aphids, all that. Aphids are just hard because they're underneath the leaves and you don't see them until your plant is getting munched on. So you have to actually look up under everything. And then I tie everything up like I had done in the videos before. Every couple of days I have to tie up stuff because it grows rapidly, especially with all the rain we're having. It is just extremely rapid growth on cucumbers. I'm getting them like prolifically. I do have like 27 to 30 cucumber plants, so I will probably have a lot. To this year might be another can all the relish in the world. I think 2 years ago, I'm still eating relish from 2 years ago and have so much of it left because I put up like 200 jars of relish, like little jelly jars, and have been selling it and giving it as gifts. And I still, in an apocalypse, we have plenty of relish to go around. So whatever we're eating, we can put some relish on it. Some of the other things, the orchard is not very productive this year. It's over here behind me, back in this area, and it's not really got a lot of fruit coming on this year. I don't know what's wrong. My plums, I did not catch it early enough, and I am new to plums, and they haven't had any fruit on them. So this is the first year they've had fruit, but I did not spray them or put the little traps up for the little worms. And so most every fruit that's on there has worms in it. And so that's something you have to catch before. They say that the larvae are like the eggs are laid on the blossoms. So you have to take care of it before. I'm new at that. So it's been neglected over there this year because I've been so focused on the main garden area and getting it all done. But it gets so overwhelming. And then I have 44 baby chicks that are really not babies anymore. They are 7 and 9 or 10 weeks, 7 to 10 weeks old. There's a couple of different batches of them. And so I have them in that little area that I did a video on the other day. But I have been letting them out and just free ranging in the yard in front of the chicken coop. There's no grass down there, and I've been letting them out. So I have to keep an eye out on them. It's like babysitting all day long when you let them out because there's hawks and they're small. And I have my boomer dog he likes, he doesn't really bother them most of the time, but it'll be the 1 second that I turn my back that he decides that he wants to play with a squeaky toy. And if he ever gets them pinned up anywhere, and they make a lot of noise, that's when he will pin them down. And he's 2 years old, so he's a lot better than he used to. I lost a lot of chickens in the beginning because they would pull the feathers out of them, and it would be when they would get really noisy, they would chase them. But they're herding dogs, so they actually want to chase things and herd them. So it's in their instinct to follow stuff around. So I get that, and I'm hoping that he will grow completely out of that, because his sister doesn't do it at all. And I'm like, y'all came from the same crop, and you're, one of you chases chickens and one of you doesn't. But like I said, he's gotten a lot better about it. And then these baby goats, I have been so excited about these baby goats coming. And she is hoarding them like she needs a ransom. I guess I'm going to have to pay a ransom to get the babies that she's holding hostage down there. Because I thought a month ago she was ready to have them. She was so bagged up, and she can't even walk. Her milk bag is so big. She wobbles everywhere she goes. So I'm hoping today's the day. It's just going to be a sunny day. It's not rainy. It's not supposed to rain for at least 4 or 5 days. Praise the Lord. We can get some stuff done. I'm hoping after church tomorrow to start working on the big coop, the enclosure behind the coop for them. And that's not like a closed in place. It's really just, I'm going to put 4x4s up, and I'm going to put some runners across the top, and I'm either going to put the shade cloth back up there or some wire, or both. And it's really for hawk protection, so that they can run up under something when they're out there. They can't all get into the coop right now really fast, because it's just got a little bitty door hole. So when they hear, the big ones, when they hear a hawk, they run in. But the little ones don't know what a hawk is right now, and they're so small that I want them to be able to have a place to get out of the way from danger. That's just how I am. I am not willing to just throw them willy-nilly out into a pasture and let them be hawk food. I want them to be as protected as possible. And yes, you will lose some to, nature. I mean, it's the circle of life. But when I have layers that I have spent a lot of money on, I will protect them, and to the best that I can. And then once we get that, I actually want a part of that to have a roof on it, and then do my gutter system on that little bit of roof and run it down into like watering places where even the dew will collect and run down. And then that will give me a place that when I need to put my dogs up, not Boomer though, in the chicken's coop side, I can stick them in there, and they will actually have a place to go out of the weather. And that's the reason why I don't have any dogs out there right now, is because there's nowhere for them to get under shelter. And I don't want them to not have some sort of shelter to get out of the rain, or, it's their choice if they want to be in the rain, but I want to give them a choice. And then what else do we have going on? The produce is coming in. So I am going to have to start doing some stuff with that. Getting squash and zucchini, and I'm getting a lot of patty pan squash. So I will be cutting it up and probably doing some refrigerator pickle style with the squash. We really like that. It tastes delicious. So do it just like you would your refrigerator pickles, but add all the spices you want in it, and just do squash instead of cucumbers. And it is actually delicious. And I don't have an exact recipe. It's more or less a basic brine, and then add whatever flavors you want. I do garlic and onions and black peppercorns, a few cloves. I don't put a lot of sugar in mine because I don't like them sweet, but I put a little bit. I put red pepper flakes sometimes to make them spicier. So you just have to add salt. So you just have to add what you want. Like, make your brine, taste your brine, see if it's where you want it, and then pour it over your vegetables. And I do heat my brine up for this, let it cool down to not boiling, and I don't want it to cook the vegetables, so I do it like warm, and then I pour it over once it cools down. I pour it over it, and then I let it cool completely, and then I move it to the refrigerator, and it lasts a really long time in the refrigerator. They say so many weeks or whatever, but I forgot about some in the back, and it had been there for like a year, and it was still perfectly fine. It didn't have any mold on it or anything, and I ate it, and I didn't get sick, so you know, it's a risk I'm willing to take on some things. Foods, no, I'm not going to eat if they've been in the refrigerator more than 2 or 3 days. There's just some things I'm not going to eat. But if you've ever been sick from food poisoning, you would understand that, why. I've got like a 2 or 3 day, that's it. I'm not eating anything after it's been sitting that long, no matter what. I'm not one of those people who can eat for a week. Like, that just makes me very nervous. But I will eat canned food that I've had on my shelf for 10 years, as long as it's not opened or bumped or anything. And I have no problem with that. As long as I open it and it smells fine, it's great. I did, however, open a can of corned beef hash the other day, and it was from 2023, and it did have mold in it. So that means that there was some air getting in there somehow. And it did not smell rancid, though. That's the thing, is I just saw that it didn't look right. And I don't know if it was mold or if it was just dark colored, but I was like, yeah, that's not worth it, and throw that out. So I fed it to the animals, minus the moldy part. I threw that away, or the dark spot or whatever was in it. I don't know. But I have had green beans rupture as well. Like in the canned green beans like you buy at the store. I've had those bust before in the pantry, and so there are things that do go rancid, but for the most part they last a really, really long time. I'm hoping that we can get the deck finished soon. I've been filming bits and pieces of the replacement of the deck. Not us actually working on it, but pictures to make a reel out of the progress of the front porch, and it's not quite finished yet. And then we got to put rails up, and with the baby coming over often, we don't even come out here. We have gone to the bottom deck, the pool deck down there. It's at the bottom of the stairs connected to my porch, but she now wants to climb up the stairs, and it's a big set of stairs, and I'm like, we're not doing that. So I found a gate that I had in my closet, and I had to put it together with dowel rods, because I bought it at like Casboys like years ago, and it was one that was like, I paid $3 for this whole fenced in like playpen type thing, and it didn't have parts with it. It's why it was like $3. And so I just had the panels, and so I just put them together with dowel rods, and I'm going to put it across the stairs, because it is a 10-foot across. We got a 10-foot set of stairs. I don't know why we did that. We just wanted it to look really nice and wide and pretty and have places to sit and things like that. So that's why we did it. But trying to keep a kid from climbing up there is... yeah, it's really fun, because you have to have like 5 people sitting across it. So I got this gate and put it together yesterday, so that when she comes today, if we get to swim, because I mean it's 57 degrees right now, and that water's probably ice cold. And so I'm not sure that we're going to get to that today. But, you know, it's supposed to be 80 something this evening and afternoon, so we might get there if it gets warm enough today. I'll take one for the team, for the baby. She doesn't care how cold it is, so I'll just get in there and I'll freeze until I go numb, and then play with her. But she's gotten to where she wants to just jump off into the pool, and hopefully soon you will see her. And if you follow me on my Facebook, you will know, or Instagram, on my page, you have seen my baby. And I just, like, my life pretty much revolves around her at this point, and I do want to make content and talk to you guys and do things. I really have a heart for it. but when it comes to my family, they come before anything else. And I will put YouTube on hold, and I will, I will go rescue my granddaughter when she needs me and things like that. I mean, it's just a priority in my life is not to work so hard that I miss out on enjoying my grandbaby while she's little. She won't be little long. She's already 18 months old, and it's been like I blinked and she got that age. So I don't want to miss any of that time, and I'm actually about to head and go pick her up. And so this little rant, this little porch talk this morning, I would love to hear things that y'all are doing. If you have a good plan, I'm ADHD and I'm not good at planning anything. So having a calendar of set things for me to do is not adequate for me because I just wing it most of the time. But I do need a little bit of a strategy to attack this because I know that coming up really soon, July into August-ish, September, it'll be the, let me rephrase that. July is elderberry season. So it's going to be elderberries. I'm going to be harvesting elderberries in July. So there will be several days where all I do is elderberries. And then come August, September, it'll be all the muscadine scuppernines. And then I freeze that to make wine with. And then we have the wine making in the fall. And so and then we have blueberries coming on now. I think there's blueberries over there now. And so it's about to be blueberry season. And so it's a lot. And I'm trying to keep up with a regular garden plus all the other things. And I've got things brewing on the countertops, and my kombucha's almost ready. And so I've got to bottle that up. And it's just like I neglect things sometimes. And so this week I actually got to clean my house because it rained so much and we had a mouse come in there. And so I just decided to gut the whole thing because I am not in for rodents in my house. And so that was a no-go. So I did get some stuff done inside. And so I will holler at you guys later. I'm about to head out. She just texted me and said that she's ready to meet me. So I'm about to drive and go pick up this baby. And I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for hanging out with me. God bless.